Hi everybody, this is Susie and welcome to my design studio. I'm so excited to get started. Yay! I'm on a design team for acherryontop.com. I'm so excited, and just ahead of time I just want to say thank you, Heidi, for everything. I really can't wait to get started. And with that said, earlier I had made a video on my new design team kit. I had the opportunity actually to select a paper line that I wanted to work with for my new project, which is going to be a vintage journal. So, or a writing tablet, whatever you would like to call it. And prior to getting my myself together, actually getting my design package in the mail, I thought that I would put something together just to show you, and this is it. This is what we're going to be making, but it's not going to be this size. This is just a trial size to show you with some scraps that I had left around. This is really cute. So, I mean, this is something that you can use, you know, just using the idea, but you can actually design it any way and use it for anything that you like. So, just to show you how it would be in another color, but also giving you an idea, this is using the paper line that is called, it is by Simple Stories, and it is called Generations. It is a really, really beautiful paper line. It's very vintage, and what I really like about it is it's a very family, home-like, with nice sayings and just a happy paper pack. There are some really sweet sayings in here, and some of them say like family is everything, and home sweet home, and you know, our family together. There's just so many different sayings in the stickers and within the paper pack itself. Family where life begins and love never ends. I mean, there's just so many. It's a great paper pack. So this is what we're going to be working with today, everybody. Go over to acherryontop.com and check it out. So just making something else ahead of time to kind of give you an idea on what I'm going to be doing. And I used the materials, most of them that I had received from A Cherry on Top today, just to give you an idea. And as I'm going along, I'm going to be making up the rest. So I hope that you can bear with me. Here is the little there are these like button type with crochet that I decided to use as the closure with a piece of twine, and I hope you can see that, and just adding a piece of my ribbon from Stash here. And this is so cute the way that works, and the paper is so vintage, it's like you don't even really need to start carrying on. I made a couple of tags in here, making this little pocket just to hold it with some of the flip sides of the paper. And I can also add anything that I want, like photos, memorabilia, stickers, tickets of any kind. You know, here's the tie knot. And I'll be showing you how to do all of this in this tutorial, so please be patient with me. I don't have a fancy speed me up system, so this is going to be a watch me totally craft project that's all vintage style. And just to also show you ahead of time so we can just get moving, I had also requested this distress ink by Ranger, which is called Vintage Photo, and all of us, I'm sure, have tried it. And what I did was I really inked up my pad with this so that I can have this to do some distressing on my edges. And what I had also done is I have this from my stash, and this is seam binding. For those of you who are not familiar with it, you can get this in your local craft store, and that's where I got mine. And I like using this for non-design team projects, and just using as ribbon and so on. And using the Vintage Photo ink, I made my own distressed bow. And I made my tie-offs for the book out of using my own seam binding and the Ranger ink and heat drying it. So I also have a tutorial on my Suzie Crafter 10 site on YouTube if you want to see how to do that. I also had gotten some really pretty papers that you guys have seen earlier, which are these darker colors and the cream color one. and to coordinate with those. And for this project, what I had done was I made some of these really pretty paper roses here. I'm hoping that you can see that clearly. This one was made out of the one that's kind of like a burgundy color, and I also made one in the cream, and I also made one in the darker brown, like a cocoa color. And these are my embellishments for the outside of my my journal. Okay. I also have this item here that I had received in my design team package as well, which is a wood die cut from My Mind's Eye, the Miss Caroline collection. So I may be incorporating that. We're going to see how it goes. But for now, I'm going to show you how to make this journal. Okay. The inside of the journal is what I started out with first, and this is actually going to be the size of the journal, and these are the inside. This is the contents, and as you can see, hopefully, that this is hand bound and hand sewed. For those of you who don't sew, it's really very simple. I'm just going to show you how that was done. You're going to get a needle and thread. You're going to knot the edge. Of course, it's going to be a much longer piece of thread than this. And you're going to take a hole punch of any kind, and you're going to let that be like a really pointy hole punch. This one is actually the Tim Holtz Tonic Studio hole punch, and you're going to punch some holes in. You're going to randomly punch two closer together, a small space, and then another two closer together. Once you've done that, now mind you, I'm just using a few sheets of paper, and this is regular computer paper folded in half. It could be of any color. It doesn't have to be computer paper, whatever you like. You can use regular thread, or you can use some other kind of like needlepoint thread, like a heavyweight if you're using a lot of pages, and you're just going to thread this through. Very easy. You're going to sew it that way, and just keep doing it. You can do it twice over if you have very few sheets in there. Okay, and then you'll bring it over to the next one, do the same thing, and then just as if you'd be sewing regularly, you'd make a knot there. Okay, and then you'll just cut it off with your scissor, and you're done. Okay, I'll just push this off to the side, and when you're done, it'll actually look like that. And just to show you the small booklet that I made, which is the same size that I was just showing you that I sewed, you'll see, I'm hoping I'm not getting too close, you'll see the binding that's in between. And this is basically a pretty sturdy journal that you can enjoy. You can keep in your bag, write notes, whatever you need to do with it. Okay, and now I'm going to get down and show you what I did to make this journal. So forgive me if I'm a little slow. I just want to make sure that I have everything here properly for you, because I've cut everything out in advance for the sake of the video. Now, what I had used here, and you can see I didn't have any chipboard. So this is actually a cardboard box from a cake. And I actually saved the cake because I knew that I was going to be making a journal, and I actually had in mind using my bind all, which you can very well use for a journal as well, but I thought I'd go a little harder and do something different. I didn't want to use the bind it all. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to now get this stuff that I love using. It's Fast Grab Tacky Glue. I actually had originally planned on using my ATG gun, but when I was making this one, putting it down and making sure it's even and all, you can't really do that using the glider tape. So I may be using this a little bit later on in my project, but right now I want to just use a glue where I can be free to kind of smoosh around with it. And those of you who have done this before knows how it is. So for this, you're actually going to need, and I wrote down the measurements here, this piece is 8 inches long, okay, by 5.5 inches wide. You're going to need 2 pieces just like this. You're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock, one for the front and one for the back of this journal, of any color, or I would recommend you picking a design that you like, because that will be the front of your book. And then you'll need 2 pieces of cardstock again for the inside covers. Once you're done with that, let me just put the glue here so it's a cap on. Once you're done with those, you're going to need a piece of 8 inches tall by 1 inch in the width, also of some kind of chipboard. This is again the box from the cake box. Alright, you're going to need a very wide piece of cardstock. This one is 12 inches in the height, and it is 4 inches in the width. It doesn't have to be that wide. You can make up any of the measurements that you like, but I'm actually making this up as I'm going along for the spine part. Okay, and you're also going to need a piece in the middle, because you have to cover this piece in the inside of the spine and the outside piece as well, and I'll show you step by step exactly what I'm going to be doing. So again, I'm going to say to you, let's get started. Okay, now I have the front part of my cover here. I would originally put this on the top, but I'm going to leave this on the bottom so that when you're looking at it, you'll see the flower on the bottom, because I'm going to want to decorate one side of the book. So I'm going to take some of this glue, and just make sure you put glue down on the corners of your chipboard. And that's just to make sure that your paper is going to stick all in the right place. And there's nothing wrong with using the HEG gun. But if you wind up needing to adhere some edges, it's kind of hard to rip off the tape from the cardstock. At least it's a little more forgiving with the liquid tape for something like this. And I'm really going to try to make this a perfect project. Because this is my first project, and it's a journal, and it's a tutorial, and I want to make sure everybody's happy. Okay, so are you having fun? Are you following me? I hope you can follow me with this. This is really not too bad. Okay, so we're just going to take a scissor, any kind of scissor is fine, and we're going to just trim off the edges, what's there. Some of you who measure exactly won't have anything to cut off. But I didn't really measure like on the money or anything like that. Okay. And now we're going to do the same thing. And mind you guys, this probably will be, I didn't want it to be, but it may be 2 parts. I may put the book together and then do a second part for the embellishments, so that the video doesn't go past the 15-minute allotted time. Okay, I'm using this Fast Grab tacky glue once again. I'm putting a lot of glue down so that if I need to like smoosh it around a little bit to make it even, I can. Okay. And it's even, it's down. I'm just going to do like this. If you want to use a roller, you can, but I don't need one right now because this is basically kind of even. And again, we're going to trim off the edges. And remember, you can make this any size that you want. You can make it into a photo album. It all depends on you, whatever you like to do. And also, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to message me directly on YouTube right here by sending me a personal message. I try to answer back everybody as quickly as I can. Okay, so we're good there. Now this is the back and this is the front. Isn't that pretty? I just love this paper. It's so beautiful. Okay, and now what we're going to do is the inside. Okay, back to the ink again. Sorry. Back to the glue again. Okay. And we're going to put that all around the edges so nothing lifts up or looks funny. Okay. And when I do stuff, guys, when I'm crafting, you know, a lot of times I show you stuff that I have already made. But I always try to have a good time when I'm doing something. And I think that you should too. Don't stress it. If you make a mistake, which, you know, I make mistakes all the time. But now if I make a boo-boo, you'll see it live. And just try to have a good time while you're crafting. No one is perfect. You don't need to be a total professional to make this. And I'm sure that, you know, everything here was cut by hand. So again, it's not perfectly perfect. And if it was perfectly perfect, it would not even be handmade. Okay. This is a beautiful paper. It's by Bazzill. I love their paper line because even when you cut it, you see when you cut it, you don't see the white in between, which I really like, because some papers you see the white, you know, the center of the paper when you cut it. I don't like that too much. Okay. I'm going to put the glue down here again. I'm just checking to make sure the battery's working, and we are, 16 minutes, okay. Okay. Don't mind me if I stop talking a little bit. Trying to get as close to the chipboard as I possibly can. And again, if you don't have chipboard, you can use cereal board. You know, a box of potatoes that you're about to throw out, the box, Cheerios, whatever. This was a cake box. You know, you can save it, or like I knew I was going to be making this, so I kind of held on to just the cover of the cake box, and it worked out really well because I made 2 journals with that. Okay, so now we have, this is the back, and this is the front. We're going to do the spine, and then we're going to make this for, this to be a second part video to put it all together and embellish it. Okay. Now that'll be the inside. Why I chose red for this, I don't know. I just figured why not, right? I have this red in the flowers, so I don't want to make it too like blah with just, you know, all dark on the inside of the book. So just spruce it up a little with some of the red. Yep, and you're just going to cut your edges off. And this is actually the spine of the book. And you'll see in a second what I'm going to do here. Okay. Now here's the key thing, everybody. I'll use this as the outside, okay? Ooh, 18 minutes. Okay, part 2, everyone. Thanks for watching. Please come back and see the rest of it and the embellishments, okay? Thank you.